Hey guys, and welcome to the fourth installment of Collectible Casa here on Ransom Reviews. Like we said, we're doing anime, comics, all sorts of stuff on this segment, and so we're finally going to break away from DC Direct, DC Comics, the DC Universe, actually comics altogether, and we are going to go off into anime now. Bit of backstory behind it, how I came to acquire this one. Basically a trade with a guy at a local video game and anime store, and somehow this wound up in my collection. If you guys know anything about the anime Queen's Blade, take a look there. Yeah, didn't know anything about it when I got this figure, and curiosity got the best of me, and I went out and bought the DVD. And yeah, for any of you who have seen this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Way over the top, just total fan service. Actually spawned a bit of controversy. It came onto Netflix not too long ago, and moms were all up in arms because their kids were watching it, and they thought, oh, it's anime, it's harmless, it's like Pokemon, but, instead of Squirtle and Pikachu, there were boobs, and, yeah, so moms got all upset, and it was all over the internet, big controversy. But before I knew anything about that, I just happened to get this. It was displayed in this window box. It is the VMF, which stands for Variable Motion Figure Collection by Yamato, and this is the first one that they came out with, Reina from Queen's Blade. Take a look there. I looked online when I got this to look for a review of it, and the only ones I saw were the reviews of the Revoltech figure, which is a cheaper figure actually. This actually can retail for as much as $90 if you look for it online. So I think we're actually going to be the first ones to post a review of this, mostly because nobody is willing to drop $90 on this.
As they shouldn't.
No. Really glad I did not. And here is the figure. This is what you get. Really detailed. The big selling point on this figure collection that they're going for is that you can pose it all sorts of different ways. There are many points of articulation. The back of the box is all in Japanese, so I went online and found an English translation on their website, and basically they were just like, it's something like, oh, what's the best part of any figure? It's being able to pose it and, move it around and have it displayed in all sorts of action poses. So that's what they're going for. They wanted you to be able to pose it in all sorts of different ways. You can move her arms, her legs, everything has a joint, head, everything is, movable. But one of the major selling points that they don't mention is you can also move this. Yeah, her armor comes off. So that's why a lot of people, I guess, go and pick this up, But we're going to keep it PG for the sake of this review. Bottom line is this is definitely not worth $90. Aside from the detail and the posability and all that, there are a lot of aspects of it that seem really cheap, or the base that she stands on is this really cheap plastic. They give you this little support beam that is supposed to attach to her leg right here and hold her up and keep her standing, but all this is just me having to balance it out so that she stands evenly on it. This is not going to support anything. It's just a little piece of plastic. In fact, it doesn't even really grip onto her leg, it just kind of sits there. And then speaking of her legs, one of the biggest complaints I have is like right here, where they've just kind of left exposed ball joints right here on the backs of her knees. I don't know why they decided to do that, but they put these plates, these like knee guards here, and when you first unbox it, these are on pretty sturdy, but if you ever pop them off, they're really hard to get back on and keep them there. Like once they come off the first time, they'll fall off really easily. I guess maybe that makes them a little more posable, but I think they could have at least, like, see here where they made these like leather wrappings out of plastic. They could have put something down there to cover up the back there, so it's just not exposed ball joint. Yeah, those come off really easily. Other aspects are really delicate. The first night that we actually wanted to go ahead and do this review and get the video done, one of my friends took the motion aspect of this figure a little too much to heart and started messing with it, and she actually snapped the sword in half. You can see right there, had to go ahead and put a little super glue on there, right here at the narrow part on the hilt. She just was messing with it and it just snapped right off. So we didn't get the review done that night. If you come across this and aren't sure, maybe you're a fan of Queen's Blade, maybe that's your thing. I mean, to each his own. If you're into fan servicey stuff, go for it. But for this particular figure, I mean, the Revoltech one is cheaper and there's a lot more information about it online. I would say, if you're just a moderate fan, stick to that, because this is not worth the $90 price tag. Even if you can find it for $70, including shipping or whatever, after the cost of them having to import it, really not worth it, I don't think. I mean, it's really detailed. I mean, it looks just like the character from the anime. Every little detail matches the character. But again, just the motion aspect of it it's just not there. If you pose her a certain way, she'll just topple over. Once you move things a certain way, it's kind of hard to see, like, her hips move and all this, and she'll just fall over if you mess with it too much. I can see what they're going for, but there are just too many aspects that they just kind of got lazy with and went the cheap route, and it really shows, here and on the knees and all that. But that's our first anime figure. More to come, guys. Thanks for watching. And this is Reina VMF figure from Yamato. Thanks, guys.